turn the red button off. It's not
Once we turn the red button off.
blasting wrong way.
Oh, okay.
What does that match mean?
That's an even nicer mat.
I don't think so.
It's pretty chic.
Yours is pretty.
Now, when you wear your glasses, are they fogging up whenever you try to?
Is that yours?
Oh, yeah.
This is Dr. Shoemaker.
Dr. Shoemaker. Yeah, you can't. I can't. I can't wear glasses in that.
Did you obtain that from your medical staff?
This is actually, before any of this broke out, my mother-in-law is going through cancer treatments.
Gotcha.
So she had ordered like 2 packs of 50 to have for when she goes to the hospital.
Wow.
And she was like, I actually stockpiled them before I knew I had to stockpile
There
them.
you go.
So,
I laugh. When I was getting my radiation treatments, right? I got that cold. No, I don't know what it was, but a cough. Like, I swear it was this, but I didn't have a fever.
mhm.
Good morning.
Morning, we'll begin in a few minutes.
Morning, Sheriff. Good morning, everybody. And we are live, gentlemen.
Yeah, I didn't have a fever, but I brought my mask, you know, because I just.
Commissioner Sarah, is he on yet?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, he's there.
So when, you know, I walked in there, they said, listen, he says, you don't want my, I can't stop coughing.
Yeah.
I don't have a fever or anything like that, but I just can't stop coughing. I appreciated it. But it's a terrible thing when you just keep coughing and coughing and coughing.
This was a while ago when you were,
This was probably January.
Bob, you glad that over the winter.
Everybody, well,
And that
he
cough.
had the crud. Everybody, why are we?
there was one that hung on
Is it
for a
from
lot
the-
longer.
I think it's
than
from the
normal.
phone,
Yeah.
being off the receiver.
Because we got a lot of money.
Huh? Now, I think the sheriff's trying to talk. You took it.
Sheriff, are you there?
He can't hear you, or we can't hear him. Keep him on speakerphone. You got him.
Hold on. You there?
No. You don't
Hold on,
I
Sheriff.
can hear you, Sheriff. Tony can.
Now I
I think
can.
it's COVID. I had on my phone, I thought I had a text from you. Did you send me a text last night?
I did, and I'll talk to you after the meeting.
Okay,
Okay.
that's fine. I come back, by the time I get back at night, I just pass out, so I didn't see your message till this morning.
I understand.
But
I crashed.
I know, it's incredible. I think I use more mental energy than I do physical energy.
Sheriff,
Yes, sir.
my wife laughed for 15 minutes last night when she heard you had a flip phone.
Well, that's not nothing. You know what? COVID's leaking all your devices. I'm the only person left with phone communication.
So she can't wait to see you. She says she can't wait to see you.
My phone is safe from phone. My phone is safe from COVID.
All right, everyone,
Fine.
it's 8:32. I suggest we take a roll call since we're doing this virtually. See who we have on the line.
Can we start, Sheriff,
Sure. I'm here.
DA,
Here.
President Judge,
Here.
the solicitor,
Here.
Krista,
Here.
Nicole.
oh, okay. Commissioner,
Commissioner's here.
Here we are.
and everybody, is there anybody else on the line?
Jill from DA.
The DA is here?
Yep.
Okay.
You also have Brian, Chris, and John at the prison.
Brian, Chris, and John at the prison, okay? Anyone else? Okay. This time I'd like to convene the prison board and seek approval of the previous minutes.
I'll move to approve.
Do I have a second? Okay. Rick.
That's fine.
Now, how are we doing the public comments? Are they being emailed, texted?
Yeah, public comments would come in either through comments on YouTube or an email, just like we did in the public meeting. I have no emails.
Okay, we have no emails as of yet, and we will go back to any public comment that tries to get in touch with us through the email process. And at this time, I'd like a motion to approve the bills.
Chair will make it.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Okay, any comments?
I have a question for the warden from Marabito. On DOC, SCI Laurel Highland, say extraordinary medical costs, how does that come about?
We have an inmate at SCI Laurel Highlands currently who is there on a 5B medical transfer, and those are the costs for his medical care at SCI Laurel Highlands, which is their facility, one of the facilities that they use to specialize medical care.
Oh, okay. In other words, okay, I get it. So he's not in the normal state system as a state inmate. He's there getting medical care.
That's
You
correct.
said a
He-
5C. I wasn't familiar with that. So.
Yeah, he's our inmate, and he is not state sentenced. However, due to his extraordinary medical needs, he's at SCI Laurel Highlands.
Okay. Thank you. I have nothing further.
Any other comments? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, that motion carries. Okay, we'll go to approval of personnel actions.
Thank you, Commissioner. We'd ask for approval of 2 personnel actions. The first is Michael Waymer as a correctional counselor at the prison, and the second is Corey Brewer as a part-time resident supervisor at the pre-release center.
Okay, any comments? Hearing none, could I have a motion to approve?
Make motion.
Could I have a
I'll
second?
second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
That motion carries. Go into informational highlights, Gordon.
Population report is next, would indicate that in the month of March, the prison averaged 168.52 males at the prison and 55.13 males at the pre-release center for an average daily population of 223.65. We had a peak during the month of 249. Females, we had 24.97 at the prison and 11.9 at the pre-release center for an average daily population of 36.87 and a peak of 51. The average daily population for males and females then was 260.52, and the peak for the month was 294. We carried 36.32 males on in-home detention and 11.84 females on in-home detention, and for the month we had no overcrowding transfers. You can see there at the end the total with the overcrowding transfers is 260.52, which was the average daily population for males and females, significantly lower than what we had in February due to the cooperation of the courts, district attorney's office, APO, public defender's office in reviewing cases and releasing inmates onto supervision or releasing them from custody in response to the COVID-19 crisis. Next report is the prison disciplinary report. In the month of March, there were 32 total hearings held, and of those hearings, 29 inmates received lockup time after being found guilty. 3 were found guilty, but their lockup time was suspended. There were no inmates found not guilty for the month. Of those 32 hearings conducted, 25 inmates participated in those hearings. 5 inmates had greater than 1 incident, and there were 27 informational reports generated by the staff for the month. Deputy Warden Barnes, do you have anything that you wish to add regarding your disciplinary report?
No, I don't. Nothing to add.
Next report is the pre-release center report, and in the month of March, the pre-release center averaged 13 males and 1 female on work release. We also averaged 43 males and 11 females on work crew, for a total of 56 males and 12 females. The year-to-date average was 61 males and 19 females. Program highlights for the pre-release center are that 2 resident supervisors, Lino Perez and Valerie Singleton, had both attended and completed the 2-week DOC basic training class in Elizabethtown. Next report is the bail release program report, and for the month of March, there were 72.58 clients on supervised bail. There was an average of 70.12 on intensive supervised bail and 10.35 on supervised release serving driving under suspension sentences. The average number of clients then was 153.12, and that equates to 4,747 bed days saved. Next report is the mental health.
George, quick question on the bail relief. How does that compare? There's obviously a big difference in the prison. How does that about the same as the other months on the bail relief?
I have last month's report. I have last month's report from the bail release program, and last month we had an average of 155.41. So we're maintaining. We're just a little more than 2 inmates less, or 2 clients less on the bail release program. So they're maintaining those numbers.
Okay, thank you.
Next report is the mental health snapshot. This snapshot was taken on April 6th and would indicate that there were 234 males and 33 females that were counted that day. 130 males and 4 females were indicated to be under roster A, which is 50.19% of the population. Roster B, there were 32 males and 7 females, 39 total, or 14.61% of the population. Roster C indicated 67 males and 19 females for a total of 86, which was 32.21%. And roster D, there were 5 males and 3 females for a total of 8 inmates, and it was 2.99% of the entire population. Looking at the psychotropic medications that were dispensed at the pre-release center, of the 37 male inmates on work crew on that day, 7 were on meds, and that was 18.92%. There were no work release inmates on that date, and there were obviously no meds then dispensed to any work release inmates. The female side, there were 3 female work crew inmates, and 1 was on meds, 33%. That was the total amount for psychotropic meds at the pre-release center. At the prison, there were 148 inmates, 26 of which were receiving meds at 17.57%. And for females, there were 19, and 10 of those 19 were receiving meds, so just over half, 52.63%. The total percent of inmates on meds at the pre-release center was 20. Total percent of inmates on meds at the prison was 21.56, and in the entire prison system, then we had 21.26% of the population receiving some type of psychotropic medication. Additional highlights: on March 5th, I attended the Department of Corrections County and State Liaison Committee meeting that was held in Harrisburg at the CCAP offices on March 27th. Correctional Officer Nathan Edler completed 4 weeks of basic training at the Department of Corrections Training Academy in Elizabethtown. And lastly, which is also included in your pack, the prison has implemented an extensive array of COVID-19 mitigation measures to protect staff and inmates and continues to evaluate and respond to recommendations and guidance from government and medical experts. The attached list summarizes the prison's virus mitigation efforts to date, and that's included in your packet of information. That's all I have for informational highlights.
Just going to add to that, Warden, that one of the bullets is the suspension of work release until further notice. And we have received a tremendous amount of calls from our public that, wonders what's going on with the recycling. And that is why the recycling is shut down, because we use the inmates to fill in the gap there, and they're not permitted to be over there. At any one time, there could be 19 or more people, sorting some of those recycling. So to the public, I want you to be patient, and hopefully things will, work out within the next couple of weeks or 3 weeks, and we'll get back onto a regular schedule. All right. Old business. And was John Stahl?
No, he's not, but I can give you some information about reentry.
Thank you, Judge. This is the reentry program.
What's happening with reentry is they're not having face-to-face contact with clients right now. What happens is they're checking in by phone every day, or the people are calling in. And currently there are 94 people at the reentry services program, because a number of the people that we have released from the county prison, one of the conditions that we released them was that they had to have daily check-ins with reentry. And generally speaking, because I monitor the reports every day, just about everybody responds, answers the phone. I just looked at yesterday's numbers, and only 2 people were accounted for, but they refused to talk. So family members or friends have been saying, yes, they're okay, they're here. So they've been able to at least enable us to keep track of clients both in treatment court, in the regular reentry program, and those that we have maybe even released a few days or weeks short of their minimum, so we can keep track of them while they're out.
Thank you.
Sure.
Any other comments on the old business? Okay, any new business?
Commissioner, I have one item, but I'm requesting it be under executive session.
Yes, I have that listed down here. Then,
Whenever it's appropriate.
okay,
Thank you.
we'll do that before adjournment. Okay. Have we received anything from the public, Jerry?
No, sir. Nope, one just came in. One comment on needing captioning services for the hearing impaired.
Yeah, I know we're trying to deal with that, but I'm not sure how successful we will be.
We just notified of that the other day, and we're working on that. Make those adjustments hopefully by the next meeting.
Now, these are trying times for not only our public, but also for government. And I must commend the DA, the judges, the warden, and APO officers. There's a strain on the whole system with this virus. And to see what you've done to protect and continue that public safety is pretty incredible. And I applaud all your efforts.
And man, that we had a meeting yesterday with the department heads, and even though the buildings are closed, we heard how they're adjusting and maintaining their daily operations. And it's often more tedious and time consuming than it is normally because of having to do things by telephone and through technology. I think it'd be more efficient, but it takes a little bit more time because it's new to all of us and having these type of meetings. And so they're, even though the buildings are closed, they are working harder than they ever have.
Another question on what the inmates at PRC are doing since they can't work elsewhere.
We are still operating a modified work crew schedule. There is a detail of cleaning that's occurring every day throughout the building. Extra cleaning is occurring. And then there are obviously jobs throughout the inside with food service, laundry service. So the inmate population is continuing to work out at the pre-release center, and there's activities and recreation that they're being offered also.
Thank you. Any others, Jerry?
Not at this time, sir.
Okay. Okay, at this time, and Mr. Solicitor, I'm not sure if this will be a challenge or not, but we want to move into an executive session.
I was going to suggest that everybody else can remain on the line. We'll hang up here. We'll go back to the briefing room. We'll dial. You guys stay on the line. We'll dial in, and then we'll come back.
Okay, Sheriff.
Is there a vote that has to happen after this executive session?
No. Not from my position.
So we could adjourn?
I don't.
If there's nothing that's going to be voted on that has to be done in a public session, you can adjourn.
Okay, in that case, we will adjourn the prison board. And I will say, as listed on the agenda, the next meeting, prison board meeting will be on 5/8 at the courthouse, unless we must meet here. So our agendas are posted online. If not, we'll make sure that the public sees this. Get it online. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.